All right, guys, hi again. This is your fearless teacher, Miss Mannion, in selfie mode because sadly my husband had to go to work, so I lost my cameraman. But we're gonna try and prop the camera so you guys can see pastry cream. So we made custard earlier today. And now I want you to see pastry cream because it's a little different process. This is basically pudding. The difference is that, like I said in the other video, that the custard is thickened with eggs, and like that's the main thickener. The pastry cream is thickened with eggs and, there we go. Oops. There we don't go. Eggs and some kind of starch. So I'm gonna use a recipe that calls for cornstarch. But I've seen flour as well. Let's see. Well, you can kind of see, let's see. I should probably edit this, huh? And we're back. Sorry, I got a phone call from the principal, actually. So, anywho, let me see. A little bit backlit, but that's okay. All right, so what I'm doing now, I don't even remember what it was. Basically, we're making pastry cream, and it is a lot like pudding. It's a thick version of pudding. So it's gonna be thickened with starch as well as eggs. Now, not every pudding recipe has a lot of starch, and not every custard recipe doesn't have starch. It's kind of a continuum instead of like a hard and fast line. There's a lot of blurred lines in this area of baking. So anyway, okay, so to separate eggs, I mean, you guys have done this before, but I'm using the 3-bowl method. So here's my whites, here's my yolks, and each time I crack a white, I'm gonna put it into my jar here, and I'm gonna make like a meringue or something out of these tomorrow or something. Okay, but this way I don't contaminate these, because if I get any yolk in there, it's not gonna whip. Okay, let's see. Here's my other 2 eggs. So we've got basically the same ingredients: eggs, milk, sugar, and vanilla. This time we've got a little cornstarch, and we've got a little bit of salt. Don't forget the salt and things. It really does bring out the flavor and things. Okay. The fresher your eggs are, the better they're gonna separate. Okay. And remember, here's the little goobers, the little Charliza. Pull those off. Throw them away. Just do it with my fingers. There. I'll make for a smoother creme patissiere, or pudding, or custard, or whatever you want to call it. Okay. Here's my eggs all separated. Label that and put it in the fridge. Take my... Okay, so, in the pot here, I've got my sugar, and I've got the cornstarch, and then I've got 2 cups of milk here, okay? Okay, and then also I need a little bit of butter. So we need 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Now remember, if you don't have unsalted, you can use salted. Just don't put the salt in the recipe because it'll be salty. Okay, more on this in just a moment. Okay, here we are. A few minutes later, we're still waiting for it to boil, but this is what it looks like kind of mid-process. I'm gonna stir in kind of a figure 8. Make sure you get the corners of the pan. Figure 8, corners. Okay. Here again, we'll be back when this is at a boil. All right, we are just about at a boil, almost. Not quite there, but I want you to see how much thicker it's gotten just, in the process of cooking it. And don't be fooled, this is not a fast process either. although it's a little bit, I don't know, less stressful than just the straight custard with just the egg, because this got a few lumps, but we're gonna strain it anyway. I think starch is always a little bit more, just a little easier to thicken things with, because you know it's gonna do its thing. Eggs, it's like, I don't know if I can trust them or not, but maybe it's just because I've used starch a little bit more often. Whoop. Okay. Once again, we've left the vanilla off to the side here so that we can add it just right at the very, very, very end so that we don't evaporate all that flavor. See if I leave it, if it will. Yep, that's okay. So that's at about a boil. So now we just need to cook it for another minute. So, pardon. But, okay, Google, set a timer for 1 minute.
Sure, 1 minute, starting now.
Most expensive kitchen timer ever, but very convenient. So you want this to be fairly thick because this is the kind of thing that you would put in between like 2 layers of cake, in a, something you want to kind of stand on its own. So you don't want it to ooze out. You want it to set up fairly dense. If I had a vanilla bean, I would have thrown a vanilla bean into the mix and let it, I would scrape the seeds and then let the vanilla bean infuse into this, but they're really expensive right now, so I'm making do with some vanilla from whenever the last time I bought vanilla was. Watch out, because at this point, oh, there it is. At this point, if it does bubble, it can spatter on your hand, and it can be a little painful if it lands on your hand. Okay, so now we're gonna put the vanilla in. Okay, Google, stop the timer. Okay, there's the vanilla. Oops, sorry. This is much better with a camera on. All right. Now, we don't have too many lumps, but we're gonna strain it through. Here's my fine mesh sieve and my bowl underneath. So I'm gonna strain it through that. And then it's ready to cool. And we wanna do the same thing we did with the other, with the custard. We wanna put a layer of plastic wrap right down on top of the pastry cream so that it doesn't form a skin. Otherwise it gets kind of a thick skin on top, and that's less appealing. I need both hands, so I'll be right back. So here it is in my bowl, and I'm gonna push some plastic right down on top of that. And then, see, bye guys. Okay, until tomorrow, when we make some cream puffs, some patissiere. So we'll talk about choux pastry. We'll talk about how to make it. Why the heck it's called choux pastry, I don't know, but I'm gonna do some research. So we'll see you tomorrow.